Cowboys Nation, what a whirlwind it has already been this season. You can feel the energy boiling over, and it's not just about the wins and losses, it's about the way this team is showing up on the field. When you watch the Dallas Cowboys right now, it almost feels like you're watching two completely different teams rolled into one. On one side, you've got an offense that looks like it can hang with anybody, an offense that has been racking up yards, moving the ball with confidence, and giving fans that electric buzz every time Dak Prescott steps on the field. But then you flip it over to the defense, and suddenly it's like you're staring at a completely different story, one that makes you want to rip your hair out because of how consistently disappointing it has been. This defense isn't just struggling, it's sinking, and it's dragging down everything around it. Think about it. Dallas has been putting up some of the best defensive numbers in football, ranking right at the top in yards per game, pushing close to 450 yards night after night. That's championship-caliber production, and yet it's being completely overshadowed by a defense that can't seem to do anything right. You can almost hear the frustration in the locker room, and you can definitely hear it from the fan base. Every week it feels like the offense is sprinting out ahead while the defense is stuck in quicksand, getting gashed through the air, missing tackles, and looking unprepared. It's become the punchline of the season. How many defenders does it take to turn on a light bulb? For Dallas, it feels like way too many, and even then the bulb probably burns out before they get it working. That's how bad it has been. The defense has turned into a running joke, and yet nobody's laughing because it's costing this team real opportunities. When you've got an offense that looks like it can contend with the best in the league, you can't afford to waste that kind of firepower. And right now, this defense is absolutely wasting it. The biggest question hanging over everything is leadership. The calls are already loud for Matt Eberflus to go, and honestly, it's hard to argue with the anger. For games in, and fans are already done with it. You don't want to be compared to the Mike Nolan era, but that's exactly where the conversation is heading. If there isn't some kind of turnaround soon, this is going to spiral into the same kind of collapse we've seen before, and Cowboys Nation knows exactly how that story ends. You can't just keep rotating a few guys here and there, throwing out different personnel packages, and hope that magically fixes it. At some point, the scheme has to change, the mentality has to change, and the results have to change because right now it is just not working. There were flashes, sure. A strip sack from James Houston looked like it could be a momentum shifter, but then he barely saw the field after that. That doesn't make sense. When your defense is this bad, you ride the guys who are making plays, but instead it feels like the coaching staff is overthinking, holding players back, and sticking to a plan that clearly isn't delivering. Fans see it, analysts see it, and even players on the field have to feel it. The frustration is building, and once that frustration starts spreading, it's tough to keep the locker room together. So naturally, the conversation turns to trades. Should the Cowboys make a move and go after some defensive help? It's tempting. When you watch a unit fail this badly, your instinct is to go out and grab reinforcements. Edge rusher, linebacker, secondary. Pick a spot because there are holes everywhere. The problem is that finding a real difference maker in the middle of the season is like trying to find a diamond in a pile of rocks. The players who are young, talented, and cost-controlled almost never become available. And if they do, the price tag is sky high. Throwing away first-round picks for a quick fix might feel good in the moment, but does it really help you long-term? That's the kind of gamble that can come back to haunt a team for years. On the other hand, how long can you keep wasting this offense? Dak Prescott is out here playing some of the best football of his career. He looks poised, confident, accurate, and in total command. Against the Packers, you could argue that was one of his best performances ever. Nearly perfect outside of a single deep ball he missed. He was dropping dimes, orchestrating drives, and finishing plays. 4 total touchdowns in a game where he looked completely in rhythm. This is the Dak Prescott fans have been waiting to see consistently, and it feels like he's delivering. But what good is an MVP-caliber performance if the defense keeps letting it slip away? The contrast is painful. Imagine watching your quarterback throw lasers, your receivers step up, and your offense execute at a high level, only for the defense to crumble like sandcastles against the tide. That's what's happening week after week. And to make matters worse, The linebacker group, which was supposed to be at least serviceable, has been a disaster. It's not just that they're struggling. It's that none of them seem to be making real impact plays. Young guys like Shamar James show flashes of athleticism, but they're inconsistent. Veterans like Kenneth Murray are exactly who they've always been, which is fine if you're looking for average, but average isn't going to cut it here. Jack Sanborn might be in the right place, but he doesn't have the speed to actually make the play when it matters. And then you've got guys committing penalties, missing tackles, or simply getting benched because they're not performing. It's a revolving door of frustration. The need for linebacker help is obvious, but again, where do you find it? You can scour free agency, but anybody sitting on the couch in late September usually isn't turning into your savior. You can look at trades, but the price has to be right. So the Cowboys are stuck in this weird limbo where the fans are screaming for help, the defense is begging for help, but the reality of actually getting help isn't so simple. And meanwhile, every passing week that the defense fails, another great offensive performance is wasted. That's the emotional gut punch of this whole situation. Because when you look at Dak Prescott right now, you're seeing a player who is finally putting it all together again. He's healthy, he's confident, and he's showing why he belongs in the MVP conversation. Is he going to win it? Maybe not, because voters look at wins, and if Dallas keeps losing games thanks to this defense, Dak won't get the credit he deserves. But on the field, in terms of pure performance, there is no doubt he is playing at that level. He's making the right reads, delivering accurate throws, and even using his legs when a situation calls for it. Everything about his game looks sharp, and yet it's all being overshadowed by the chaos on the other side of the ball. Cowboys Nation is tired of the same old story. They've seen seasons slip away before because one side of the ball couldn't hold up its end of the bargain. And right now, this feels like it could become another wasted year if this defense is only going to grow heavier. Because the offense is too good to be let down like this, and the fans know it. They can see the potential, they can see the path to greatness, but that path is blocked by a defense that looks completely broken. When you look at the way this season has unfolded, it almost feels like a cruel joke. The Cowboys finally have their quarterback firing on all cylinders, the offensive line holding up well enough to give him time, and the receivers stepping into their roles. You've even seen flashes in the run game that make the offense feel balanced, dangerous, and adaptable. And yet, every conversation somehow circles back to the one glaring issue. This defense is flat out failing. It is impossible to hide, and it's impossible to ignore. Week after week, the tape shows the same story. Receivers running wide open, missed tackles in the open field, defensive linemen getting swallowed up at the line of scrimmage, and a coaching staff that seems stuck in neutral. Fans are watching this and asking the same question over and over. How can you waste such a golden opportunity? Dak Prescott is playing like a man on a mission. His connection with his receivers is sharp, his accuracy is dialed in, and his leadership has been evident. Against Green Bay, he put together a performance that you could easily argue belongs in the top tier of his entire career. 4 total touchdowns, surgical precision in the passing game, and the kind of composure you want from your franchise quarterback in the biggest moments. And yet all of that brilliance is buried underneath the avalanche of frustration from the defensive side of the ball. It is not just that the defense is bad statistically. It is that they are bad in the moments that matter most. Third downs become nightmares. Red zone stands are practically non-existent. And even when the offense delivers a lead, the defense seems to hand it back within minutes. That takes a toll on a team's psyche. Imagine being in the huddle, knowing you have to score almost every time you touch the ball because your defense cannot hold water. That pressure adds up, and even the best offenses eventually crack under that kind of weight. The linebacker room has been the epicenter of disappointment. Shamar James was supposed to be the athletic spark, but he's still too raw to carry the load. Kenneth Murray is exactly what he's always been, a player who flashes now and then, but never gives you the consistency needed to anchor a defense. Jack Sanborn understands where to be, but simply doesn't have the speed or burst to close the gap when it matters most. Then you've got guys like Maurice Leaf, who find themselves remembered more for mistakes than impact plays. Penalties, missed tackles, mental lapses, they all add up. DeMarvion Overshone is sorely missed, but banking on one young player to fix an entire unit is unrealistic. Even if he comes back and plays well, he cannot single-handedly transform a defense this broken. It is no wonder fans are screaming for reinforcements. But the timing is brutal. Late September, early October is one of the worst stretches in the calendar to try and find meaningful help. Front offices know what they have. They are not eager to give up valuable players unless the return is massive, and the Cowboys are already staring at the possibility of having to pay steep prices. You want a young pass rusher who is under contract for multiple years? Good luck. You want a linebacker who can actually cover sideline to sideline and make splash plays? Those guys do not just become available without a massive haul going the other way. And yet, when your defense looks this porous, doing nothing feels like waving the white flag on a season where your offense is begging you to compete. The bigger picture becomes even more complicated when you look at the offense's trajectory. Dak Prescott is not just playing well, he is playing with the kind of control and poise that makes you wonder if this is finally the year he can climb into that elite conversation once and for all. He is not just putting up numbers, he is elevating everyone around him. With CeeDee Lamb sidelined, George Pickens stepped up and delivered a performance that showed exactly why Dallas fought to bring him in. 8 catches, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pickens looked every bit the #1 receiver in that game, and it gave Prescott the kind of weapon he could trust in crucial moments. The chemistry was there, the timing was there, and the production spoke for itself. But success comes with a price. Pickens is building his case for a massive payday, and the Cowboys front office knows it. That is where the tension starts to creep in. Do you lock him up now, when his value is skyrocketing? Or do you wait and let the leverage shift more and more into his camp's hands? From the player's perspective, it makes perfect sense to hold off. The franchise tag for wide receivers is projected at $28 million, which is already a safety net for him. If he waits and keeps producing at this level, he might position himself for one of the biggest wide receiver deals in the entire league. And as much as the Cowboys want to secure their new star, they also know the business side of this league is ruthless. Timing is everything, and right now the timing favors the player more than the team. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a move that has sent shockwaves across the NFL, Davante Adams, one of the league's premier wide receivers, has been synonymous with explosive plays and elite route running, cementing his reputation as a game-changer on the field. His potential reunion with Dallas, where the number 88 carries a legendary legacy, is already sparking excitement among fans eager to see how he could complement the Cowboys' offense. The decision reportedly involved intense discussions, weighing both financial terms and the promise of playing alongside a roster brimming with talent. While the Rams are facing the prospect of replacing a receiver of Adams' caliber, the Cowboys' sideline buzzes with anticipation. Coaches and teammates alike are rumored to be thrilled about the addition, envisioning the new offensive possibilities and matchups against formidable NFC rivals. Social media has erupted with fan reactions, ranging from disbelief to elation, as the prospect of Adams in a silver and blue uniform ignites passionate debate across forums and platforms. League insiders caution that while the agreement appears imminent, final paperwork and league approvals are still pending. Yet, the mere rumor has already reshaped expectations for both franchises. Analysts speculate that Adams' presence could elevate Dallas into immediate Super Bowl contention, while the Rams might need to recalibrate their passing strategy to compensate for the sudden void. As the NFL world holds its collective breath, all eyes remain on the Cowboys' next moves. Will Adams' arrival live up to the hype, or will the pressures of a new market and historic jersey number prove a challenge? For now, one thing is certain. The rumor mill has never been hotter, and the upcoming season promises fireworks with a whisper of Davante Adams in Dallas. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.